Good day, and welcome to 9 Plus IELTS Academy. In this session, we will be focusing on IELTS Writing Task 2, specifically the opinion essay, which is one of the most common and important question types on the exam. Today's lesson is designed to guide you through the structure, logic, and language of a high-scoring essay. We will examine the introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion in detail, and I will explain the reasoning behind each sentence as if we were in a live classroom. Please be sure to take notes as we proceed, and if you find this lesson valuable, consider subscribing to the channel and sharing it with others preparing for the IELTS exam. Let us begin. Before we dive into the paragraph by paragraph, let's understand the overall structure of a high-scoring IELTS Writing Task 2 essay. IELTS examiners expect you to organize your ideas clearly and logically, and the best way to do this is by breaking your essay into 3 main parts. Part 1. Introduction. It is because the introduction sets the stage. It tells the examiner what the essay is about and what your opinion is. A strong introduction should introduce the topic in a general way, paraphrase the question, clearly state your opinion or position. Part 2 is body paragraph. This is the core of your argument. The body paragraphs develop your ideas, explain your opinion, and support it with logical reasoning and examples. A good body section has 2 or 3 paragraphs. In this essay, we use 2 detailed ones. Each paragraph starts with a clear topic sentence, is followed by explanation, examples, and logical development, and ends with a concluding or linking sentence. Part 3 is conclusion. The conclusion summarizes everything. It reminds the reader of your opinion and wraps up your essay neatly. A strong conclusion restates your opinion clearly, summarizes your 2 main ideas, optionally gives a final thought, recommendation, or reflection. Now that you understand the general structure, let's begin our essay and break down each part sentence by sentence, so that even a beginner student can understand why every word is used. Today's topic is social media has a negative impact on human relationships and society as a whole. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Before diving deep into the essay, let's understand the purpose of the introduction. Think of it like the trailer of a movie. It sets the tone, introduces the theme, and makes the reader curious to continue. A strong IELTS introduction does 3 important things. Introduces the topic generally, paraphrases the question, clearly gives your opinion. Let's look at a high-scoring Band 9 example, then break it down. In today's rapidly evolving digital world, social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter have become deeply woven into our daily routines. Although these platforms were created to improve communication, I firmly believe they are having a negative impact on both human relationships and society as a whole. Sentence 1. General background. In today's rapidly evolving digital world, social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter have become deeply woven into our daily routines. Start with a broad sentence to show you understand the topic. Don't copy words from the question. Instead, paraphrase. This sentence uses phrases like digital world and woven into our daily routines to sound more academic and natural. Sentence 2 is thesis or your opinion. Although these platforms were created to improve communication, I firmly believe they are having a negative impact on both human relationships and society as a whole. This sentence clearly shows the writer's position. You can use phrases like I believe, I am convinced, or I strongly feel. IELTS examiners want to see a clear opinion. Notice how this sentence addresses both parts of the task, relationships and society. That's it. Just 2 well-structured sentences are enough to create a strong introduction. You don't need to write a long introduction. Focus on clarity, coherence, and correctness. Now that we've built a powerful introduction, Let's explore the body paragraphs, where the real argument begins. Now let's begin body paragraph. Now that we've built a strong introduction, it's time to move on to the first body paragraph. Remember, the body is where you prove your argument, so every sentence needs to be carefully crafted and logical. We'll be focusing on how social media negatively affects personal relationships. Let's begin with the full paragraph, and then we'll break it down line by line. One major reason why social media is harmful is that it weakens real-life relationships. Many people spend hours scrolling through their phones instead of talking to family members or friends. As a result, face-to-face communication is decreasing, and people feel more lonely than ever before. For example, a recent study showed that people who use social media for more than 4 hours a day are more likely to feel isolated. This shows that online connection does not replace real human connection. Sentence 1 is your topic. Sentence 1 major reason why social media is harmful is that it weakens real-life relationships. Why this sentence matters. This sentence tells the reader exactly what this paragraph will be about. That's called a topic sentence. It's like the title of a small story. How it connects? It supports your thesis from the introduction, where you said social media harms personal relationships. Now you're going to explain how and why. Remember not to make your topic sentence too long. Be direct and focused. Now let's look at sentence 2. Many people spend hours scrolling through their phones instead of talking to family members or friends. You know why this is important? It's because now you're explaining the problem in real life. You're not giving an example yet, but helping the reader imagine the situation. This sentence shows the cause of the problem. Too much screen time replaces real conversation. Indeed, this sentence uses simple vocabulary, but it's powerful because it's relatable. IELTS doesn't require fancy words. Clarity is more important. Sentence 3 is result or effect. As a result, face-to-face communication is decreasing, and people feel more lonely than ever before. Here, you're showing the consequences of the behavior in the previous sentence. You used a linking phrase, as a result. That's excellent. Examiners love clear transitions. You also used emotionally meaningful words like lonely. That adds depth to your argument. Always try to explain what happens next. That shows deeper thinking. Sentence 4 is an example. For example, a recent study showed that people who use social media for more than 4 hours a day are more likely to feel isolated. This is where you back up your claim with evidence. Even if you invent the study, it still shows the examiner that you know how to support your ideas. It's believable, it connects to the paragraph theme, and it makes your essay more academic. You don't need to name the university or author unless you remember it. Just say a recent study. Sentence 5 is conclusion. Sentence for the paragraph. This shows that online connection does not replace real human connection. This is your wrap-up sentence. It brings the paragraph to a close and repeats your point using slightly different words. Notice how it links back to the thesis. It reminds the reader of your opinion. Golden rule is that every paragraph should start with a point, then explain and support it, and finally wrap it up. You should always remember that your first body paragraph should start with a clear topic sentence. Explain your point. Show the effect or consequence. Give an example. End with a concluding sentence. This structure is easy to follow, and it makes your argument strong. Let's now move to our second body paragraph. If you remember in the introduction, we said, social media negatively affects personal relationships and society as a whole. We've already explained the personal side, now we'll talk about the bigger picture, its impact on society. Here's the full paragraph first, then we'll study it step by step. Beyond harming personal relationships, social media also has dangerous consequences for society. One serious issue is the rapid spread of misinformation, which can cause panic and confusion among large groups of people. For instance, during health emergencies, false news about cures or symptoms spreads quickly and can lead to dangerous behavior. In addition, social media promotes unrealistic lifestyles and beauty standards, especially among teenagers, which often results in anxiety and low self-esteem. Overall, social media's influence goes far beyond personal lives. It reshapes how people think, feel, and act across entire communities. Sentence 1 is a topic sentence. Beyond harming personal relationships, social media also has dangerous consequences for society. Why this is important? Because this sentence introduces your new main idea. It shifts the focus from personal relationships to the wider society. The phrase beyond harming helps the reader smoothly transition from the previous paragraph. Always use transitions between paragraphs. This shows the examiner that your ideas are logically connected. Sentence 2 is the explanation of main point. One serious issue is the rapid spread of misinformation, which can cause panic and confusion among large groups of people. This sentence explains the first danger social media creates for society: misinformation. Words like rapid spread, panic, and large groups help the examiner understand that the effects are widespread and serious. Vocabulary matters. Use academic and topic-specific words like misinformation and consequences. Sentence 3 is real-life example. For instance, during health emergencies, false news about cures or symptoms spreads quickly and can lead to dangerous behavior. Here we support the explanation with a specific example. This adds credibility to your argument and shows the examiner you're not just giving opinions, you understand real-world impacts. Examples are essential. Even if they are general, they help illustrate your point. Sentence 4 gives additional argument with new perspective. In addition, social media promotes unrealistic lifestyles and beauty standards, especially among teenagers, which often results in anxiety and low self-esteem. Now you're giving a second reason why social media harms society. This keeps your paragraph rich and diverse. You're not repeating yourself, you're adding new information. Emotional impacts like anxiety and low self-esteem matter a lot in today's world, so this adds a powerful human element to your argument. In high-scoring essays, each body paragraph often contains 2 examples or effects. This shows deeper understanding. Sentence 5 is your paragraph conclusion. Overall, social media's influence goes far beyond personal lives. It reshapes how people think, feel, and act across entire communities. This final sentence wraps up the paragraph. It's a great way to signal that your explanation is complete. By using a phrase like how people think, feel, and act, you summarize the social consequences in a powerful and memorable way. Golden rule is that always remind the reader of your main point before moving to the conclusion. Always remember that in body paragraph 2, we made a new point about social media affecting society, explained one danger, misinformation, gave a real-world example, added a second danger, mental health and self-image, wrapped up with a strong summary sentence. This variety keeps your writing engaging, relevant, and academic. In our final section, we'll look at how to write a powerful conclusion that ties all your ideas together and leaves a lasting impression. Now, part 4 is your conclusion. You've worked hard, and now it's time to finish your essay with a strong, thoughtful conclusion. Just like a good movie or story, a great essay should end in a way that makes the reader feel satisfied, and maybe even impressed. Here's the full conclusion first, then we'll explore it step by step. In conclusion, although social media has some positive aspects, its overall impact on human relationships and society is largely negative. It reduces meaningful interactions between individuals and spreads misinformation, and harmful ideals across communities. Therefore, I firmly believe that people should use social media more responsibly and prioritize real-life communication whenever possible. Sentence 1 is restating your opinion. In conclusion, although social media has some positive aspects, its overall impact on human relationships and society is largely negative. This sentence restates the main idea of the essay, but with slightly different words. Notice the use of the phrase, "in conclusion." This helps the examiner know that you are wrapping up your argument. You also acknowledge the other side, some positive aspects, but you stay true to your opinion, largely negative. IELTS examiners look for consistency. Make sure the opinion in your conclusion matches your introduction. Sentence 2 is summary of key points. It reduces meaningful interactions between individuals and spreads misinformation and harmful ideals across communities. This sentence summarizes the two main arguments from your body paragraphs. Social media damages personal relationships. It negatively influences society. You're not adding new information here. You're simply reminding the reader what you have already proven. Keep in mind that you should never introduce new examples or ideas in the conclusion. This is a summary, not a new discussion. Sentence 3 is the final thought or recommendation. Therefore, I firmly believe that people should use social media more responsibly and prioritize real-life communication whenever possible. This final sentence leaves the reader with something to think about. It offers a solution or call to action, which shows critical thinking and maturity. The phrase, "I firmly believe," reinforces your opinion with confidence. This kind of recommendation helps you stand out in the examiner's mind. It shows you're not just criticizing, you're offering improvement. In your conclusion, remember to restate your opinion clearly, summarize your main points, end with a strong thought or recommendation. Keep your tone formal and avoid repeating the exact same words you used earlier. Show the examiner that you can paraphrase and summarize effectively. Well done! You've now written a complete IELTS Band 9-level essay with clear explanations, logical structure, and thoughtful language. Best of luck on your upcoming exam. Feel free to share your scores in the comments section once you've completed the test. I'd love to hear how you did. Also, let me know which section you found most challenging. I'll do my best to create a video that focuses on that specific area. Thank you for watching and keep striving forward.